Before I get into this video, I just want to say that this isn't a Hall of Critic worthy video, and after 9 long-ass months, summer vacation has finally arrived. Hello everybody, welcome back to another Kinnikin video. What's happening, y'all? In this video, I'm going to be telling y'all a few minor things that have been going on in my life so far, and how my YouTube channel is going to go from here on out. Going to be very specific with each topic so the video can be longer, and I'm sure you guys would appreciate it if I made my videos longer than they are now. I don't care how many likes this video gets, but leave a like anyway. Subscribe to this channel if y'all new to my content. Let's get into this video. First thing I want to talk about is the status for my driving privileges, mixed with the instructions of how to get a license. This is probably going to be best for those who are teenagers that live in Minnesota. To those who aren't between the ages of 13 to 17 and or don't live in Minnesota, sucks to be you. Step 1. Sign up for the driver's education class. A year and a half ago, I was in the 8th grade. I woke up at around 6:45 in the morning so I can show up early to school. 6:45 was early as shit for a middle schooler, especially if you live up north, because in the winter, it doesn't get bright until like 8 or 9. For a high schooler, you'd have to wake up at like 6:30, and that's if you want to be in a rush. I went to school early because I had to sign up for classes to take in freshman year, and that day was the last day for me to do it. Otherwise, they would pick the classes for me. I couldn't sign up for classes at home because I didn't have a computer back then. Besides this laptop I'm using right now, but I didn't know I had it until like the end of last year. Anyways, I get to school, I lock up my bike, went to the library, saw Lucas in the library for some reason, and I ended up signing up for classes that were similar to his, thinking that I was going to be enrolled in the same classes as he was. Now, before I get yelled at by some idiots in the comment section talking about why I'm still friends with Lucas and do stuff like that with him, this was back in 2015. We never had any classes together after all, but one of the classes I signed up for is driver's education, since it was an option. Pretty much all of my life I wanted to drive, but when I first heard that you have to be a legal age, I was upset knowing that I had to wait years in order to start driving around without having to travel on a bike or walk in bad weather conditions. Fast forward to August of last year, my little brother gives me an envelope with my real name on it. I open the envelope and I see my bus schedule and my classes for the year. I ended up getting driver's education on the last trimester. I wasn't even mad at the fact that I couldn't have the class right away at the beginning of the school year because I knew me getting my license was going to be much less stressful. The reason why I'm saying that is because there's a lot of people who sign up for driver's education, and not everybody can be enrolled since there's a lot of kids signing up for it. Luckily for me, I got enrolled because if I didn't, I get 2 unpreferable options. Option A is that I wait until I'm a legal adult, which in this case is 18 years, and get the license myself. To be honest, if I go with option A, then I'm not going to be able to get a license until I'm like 19 or 20, which is 4 or 5 years from now. I'm not trying to wait that long so I can start driving legally. Option B is that I pay $65 for driver's education as an after-school program. Option B is that I pay $65 for driver's education as an after-school program. I hear from people that it's much worse because you can't be absent for more than 1 day, otherwise it wouldn't be 30 hours and you would have to be kicked out of the class, which would be a waste of $65. Step 2. Complete 30 hours of that class, 6 hours of behind-the-wheel training in class. Fast forward to March where 3rd trimester finally begins. I go to class, they give us this workbook, I finish it, I pay $185 for the behind-the-wheel training, I plug people with answers off the workbook since people are lazy, I turn it in, and they give us the permit test, which leads us right into step 3. Pass the permit test. In order to take the permit test, you need 2 forms of identification. I just had my school ID and my birth certificate. That's all you really need for the test. Step 4. Validate your documentation to get your permit. I haven't reached that far into getting my license yet, so I'll probably just end up talking about the steps and how I feel about them, and then I'll continue with the rest of this video. So, you're supposed to go to the nearest DMV office. I'm sure you'll find one in Minnesota. What you need to go there is proof that you completed your behind-the-wheel training, a couple forms of ID, I would just bring my birth certificate and my school ID, and you need $16.25. There's a lot of things in America that aren't free, so yeah. Step 5. Complete another 40 or 50 hours of supervised behind-the-wheel training with at least a 6-month period. The 40 or 50 hours depend on if your parent took the awareness class or just showing up to some presentation my teacher did. It may seem long, but time does fly, and I am willing to do whatever to get a license. Step 6. Make an appointment for your road test at a driver's exam station. This is a very important step because once you make an appointment, you're going to have a driver instructor contact you, and that instructor is going to give you the information, such as where the road test is going to be, what number you should contact, etc. You want this information. If you don't keep this information and you forget it, really does suck to be you, because not only that you'll miss your road test, you have to go through the whole process of making an appointment, and they'll charge you if you do it more than twice. Step 7. pass the road test. Step 8, validate your documentation to get your provisional license. Step 9, complete another 15 hours of supervised behind the wheel training for at least 12 months. Step 10, pay for an unrestricted driver's license. That's about it for teenage years. I won't get into how adults get licenses. I might save that for another video though. If you think I made any mistakes on any of these steps, please make sure to let me know in the comment section below. The next topic I want to talk about is my finance issue. My nigga. I don't know about y'all, but I'm poor as shit. Like, I literally cannot pay for anything unless I get a job. Almost 2 weeks ago, I walked all the way to McDonald's that's just a few blocks away from my house. I asked one of the employees if they had a job application. They told me I could have just applied online. I asked what the web address for the application is, and they gave me the address to the McDonald's. Either they thought I said address instead of web address, or they don't know what the difference is between the two. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if web address had been an old term and nobody would remember what that means. So, I go home, search out the application myself, get it done off of some other website, and they never contacted me back yet. Now, many people would not prefer to work at McDonald's because they're known for their disrespectful bosses, their bad building quality most of the time, and their not so great food. Me personally, the only thing I like from McDonald's is their chicken nuggets. The only reason why I'm applying to McDonald's is because it's the nearest restaurant that hires 15-year-olds, which is almost a mile away from my house. It's a 15-minute walk. There's only a total of 3 places that I know I can walk at. Well, actually 2, because when I walked to the donut shop to see if they were hiring anyone, they said no. The only 2 places that can hire 15-year-olds that I know of, and within a 3-mile radius, because that's how much I'm willing to walk for a job, is McDonald's and Culver's. If both of these chains fail on me, then I don't know any other jobs that will hire at 15 within a 3-mile radius. I think it's safe to say that the only reasons why I'm probably ever going to leave my house this summer is if I get food out of it, if I'm going to get a job, or if I'm hanging out with a friend within a mile, or if I just get a car ride anywhere. I'm pretty sure a ride is going to be my parents 9 out of 10 times, because now that I'm piss poor, my mom and dad are the only people I know that would drive me somewhere from my house and not charge me for gas money. But the only places they would take me is Wendy's, church, school, or dad's house. Yeah, broke niggas find out that they don't get options the hard way. Hopefully pretty soon I'll get hired, start working, and getting paid. But until then, I'm stuck in my house with practically not shit to do. Matter of fact, let me give y'all some reasons why I want a job. First of all, me getting paid will benefit my mother a lot. She's been struggling with bills since last year, and she's in the hospital right now, suffering from back pain. We ain't got no air conditioning, we ain't got no warm water, and we're running low on food. My mom told me that I shouldn't get a job because that can affect my education, and her boyfriend from France is trying to get a visa to come here and take care of us to pay everything off anyways. I'm not going to obey that because school is already going to be out of session for the next 3 months, and her boyfriend's been trying to get to the United States for over a year now, and I don't got time to be waiting for that shit. Second of all, me getting paid will benefit me in terms of entertainment. Once I get enough money, I can buy me a good computer so I can play all kinds of games with friends in my free time, and put a lot more effort into my YouTube channel for me to possibly get another source of income. I can also buy me video games, Spotify Premium, and YouTube Red. I fucking hate ads, man, I really do. Third of all, I can pay back my friends. Just a few months ago, my friends used to pay for snacks, food, and other stuff that I would have. Nowadays, they don't want to do that no more because me eating up their money and never paying them back for it is quite unfair and annoying. I would pay them back, but I can't exactly get paid until I get hired for a job. Damn, getting a job at 15 is harder than I thought it was. Fourth of all, I can actually travel a lot more efficiently. It's been about a good month since I haven't had a bike, and I've been walking several miles to places. Once I get paid, I will be able to buy a bike, get more car rides so I can pay for gas money, get Uber, all that. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of having to walk all over the place for little to no reason. School is one of them. Driving to school from my house takes about 5 minutes. On a bike, it takes 7 to 8 minutes, depending on how the traffic lights function at the intersection near my school. Walking takes about 25 minutes. You see how slow it is to walk there rather than to bike or get a ride? The donut shop I was talking about earlier, it takes 7 to 8 minutes to drive, about 15 minutes to bike, and a little over 50 minutes to walk. One more place I would like to share is a gas station called Quick Trip, which is across my city. I go there to buy snacks every once in a blue moon. It takes 8 to 10 minutes to drive there, depending on the traffic lights on the highway. Yeah, the city I live in only has one freeway, and half of it in the city lines has traffic lights on it. So if you get caught by a red light, you're going to be stuck there for a bit. By driving, it takes 8 minutes. Biking, it takes 20 minutes. Walking, it takes an hour and 15 minutes. Sorry for boring you with how long it takes to go places. Back when I had a bike, I used to bike to a lot of places that is fairly not close. With my biking rules and all, I'd be willing to bike within a 10-mile radius from my house, and most of my friends live within that radius. On average, I bike 10 miles per hour. If someone calls me talking about they want to hang but they live too far, I'm not leaving that 10-mile radius until I know I can get a car right there and back. If I was to walk 10 miles, that would probably take me about 3.5 hours. Fuck that. The next thing I want to talk about is my YouTube channel. It seems that every time I try to be serious about keeping a consistent uploading schedule, I always end up not uploading anything for a certain period of time, shortly after I try to be serious about keeping a consistent uploading schedule. I've been doing that for about a year now. Ever since I first started doing that, I wanted to get back to daily uploads. But the fact that I hung out with friends, dealt with school and their stupid finals, dealt with a poor running computer, looking for jobs, and keeping my mother's satisfaction by doing chores, keeping a consistent uploading schedule is barely possible. A good day for me is that I wake up extra early, say like 5:30 in the morning. I clean up my room and work on a video for a little bit until I would have to get ready for school. I go to school, they assign me homework, I leave school, I hang with friends, and I come home before dark. Back then, dark would start really early. Like, the earliest it would be pitch black is 5 p.m. in the winter. Anyways, I would go home, work on my homework, finish off the video, and clean up whatever I left in my room. I can't do that every day. For one, I already struggle waking up at 6:30 in the morning, and my bus comes at 7:05. Two, whenever I get from school, I would either hang out with people until around 9 p.m. or stay home and do all of the homework or make a YouTube video. And I rarely have the time to do either of the two. Matter of fact, I won't even hang out with friends late at night often because I had to keep my sleeping schedule to where I don't sleep in class. I fail at that sometimes. One time I used to go home and go to bed at like 5 p.m. and wake up at 2 a.m. I would do a little bit of homework and a little bit of YouTube video making. That was the worst sleeping schedule ever. Since I would be up since 2 in the morning, I would like die during 4th or 5th period. Then I would feel tired right when I get home, fall asleep early, and fall through the same pattern over and over again. It was hard to fix that up, but now that it's summer vacation, I don't have to worry about my sleeping schedule anymore. Anyways, I'm planning on doing more collaborations with other YouTubers because it seems to be pretty fun. My YouTube channel is actually dying because of me not uploading over and over again. I recently got pranked by some dude in my class who deleted my videos, which caused a huge drop in my monthly view count, and I can barely get it over 500 views since my channel is about to die. I might do some more collaborations with Chris, King, Artblade, Likeable, Jeff, Sabian, etc. The next thing I want to talk about is how I got grounded for 2 weeks just yesterday. Last week, my math teacher assigned me a project I didn't want to do, so I didn't do it. And the day it was due, my teacher told me that if I don't turn in the project completed the next morning, he would call my parents. I didn't really care about it at first because I really didn't want to do the project due to poor motivation. When I got home, my mother told me that she got a call from my teacher saying that I didn't turn in a project and I only had until the next morning to finish it. My mom's was in the hospital at the time suffering from back pain. My mom told me to work on the project and I never did it that night. The next morning comes up, I go to school and I never show up to the teacher's classroom because I didn't feel like dealing with him. So I'm in class, right? I get a call from my mom's. Of course I didn't answer because I was in class about to take a final test. Then she leaves a voicemail. I have Google Hangouts, so it's able to like detect what they're saying and then put it in a message for me to read. And it worked pretty good because according to the message, she basically said that she got another call from my math teacher and that he said that I never showed up to turn in the project. I ignored that message, take the final, and go to my very last class of the whole year. After I take the final for that class, my math teacher shows up to my class. My name. I literally forgot to breathe when he showed up to my class. Then the teacher looks at me. From my experiences to facial expression, he looked pretty pissed off. He approaches me and asks where my project was. I then tell him that I never even started on the project. He was mad as fuck. The teacher starts yelling at me about the project. Whole classroom looking at me right now. The teacher says that if I don't at least finish a section of the project before the end of class, which was in like 15 minutes, he'd fail me so I'd have to deal with him for another trimester of sophomore year. I wanted to cuss his ass out so bad, but I didn't want to make a scene really bad. Plus he snitched on me and had my mom beat my ass and then some. So I ended up finishing a section by putting down random ass information with a little bit of research. I turned it in, and he continues to yell at me. He basically tells me that this project was easy, and that he's disappointed that I sat in class doing nothing. Eventually the bell rings and he holds me back for another 2 minutes. At this point, he's really starting to get me on my nerves. Eventually, he lets me off the hook saying I barely passed this class. I go home and my mom says that I'm grounded for 2 weeks and starts yelling at me. She basically complained about how I always fail assignments and how I'm going to be ending up like my deadbeat dad who will work as a janitor full time. She even said that she's not going to get me my permit until further notice, as she was getting ready to leave to go back to the hospital for treatment. School sucks. The last thing I want to talk about is my plans for the summer. I think until I get a job, the first portion of my summer is going to be just like the last one, but a little more boring. I would just stay up, play games, watch and make YouTube videos, eat, fall asleep in the morning, wake up in the afternoon, and rarely hang out with friends. It's pretty much my plan for the whole summer. Like, I can't travel far or just get what I want without money. So as of day 1 of my summer vacation, I'm currently making a video and just watching YouTube videos. I might go on a walk sometime because it's supposed to be in the 90s this weekend or next week. Well, that's it for this video. I know it's a little longer than usual. I think my next video is going to be just about as long, if not just a little shorter. Thank you guys for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you do. Subscribe to my channel if y'all new to my content. Follow me on Twitter and Snapchat at KinandKin. Links will be in the description below. Share this video around to anybody who is grounded right now. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.